Salutations Rangers, General Rally 101 here, back at you again with some more lore. And in today's video, boys and gals, we are starting a brand new series. Y'all really seem to enjoy the Salamander video, so I was like, hey, why don't I make this a series? We're going to start off by covering various different Space Marine legions, chapters maybe, and then we'll go into more different factions. But welcome to What Does Everyone Get Wrong About X? And today we're talking about the White Scars. So grab something to drink, buckle up on in, and let's get talking about the sons of the Khan. Ah yes, the White Scars. Everyone's favorite space Mongolians. But that's where our problems begin, and kinda where they end. Not really, but we'll get to that later. You see, when people see the White Scars, they simply think them as space Mongols, you know, and that's it. They don't think about anything else about them, or anything in between. They're space Mongols, we know already, they like to move fast, they're kinda barbaric, they're really aggressive, they're just that. But don't get me wrong, that is a huge aspect of their character. But it's not all of it. You see, they are inspired and they take hints and cultural elements from the Mongols, but that doesn't mean that they are literally Mongol Space Marines translated. Now, you may ask the question, okay then Brad, why do you and a bunch of other YouTubers describe them as such? Because what a lot of people fail to understand is that when you talk about something, you have to give someone a base, a nice base. Right? Let's say you're making a sandwich, you have to have a nice bread. So we start off by saying, hey, Mongol Space Marines. Then people already have the idea. But the problem is, you don't just end with the bread, and you don't just eat plain bread. Unless you're like me, and you're a fat ass. Yes I am. Goddamn, I love bread. But normally, you'll add other layers to it, and you'll build upon it from there. People, however, seem to forget to do that with the White Scars. And, well, for any faction really, but the White Scars seem to have it particularly bad. I mean, it's a perfect example of this is the Khan himself. If you ask many people, what is the most underrated Primarch? About 90% will say it is Jagatai Khan. And when you continue to ask them, hey, what makes you say that? This is normally the answer you're going to get. Well, I don't really know much about him, but then I started reading about him and I was like, oh wow, he's actually really cool. And the same can be applied to his legion. See, the problem is people just think, oh, yeah, they're the White Scars. They're aggressive, they're barbarian, they're Mongols, like we already know, they just move fast, that's all their shtick. And people will point to facts of them loving fast-moving vehicles, loving jump infantry, revolving their whole combat doctrine around it to the point of a detriment, some would argue. And they'll also point to the fact that, oh, they have head takers, they literally take heads and skulls and like they take out the skin and they boil them and then they put it on like a post, like, oh, look, barbarian. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's part of it. But that's not all of it. Again, same thing with the Sallies, and this is going to be a recurring theme for the rest of this series. People love putting things in boxes. We love putting things in its neat little box, and that's that. Problem is though, good writing, and good people for that matter, do not fit nicely into boxes. We're multi-dimensional with our own different facets, so you can't just take everything at face value. You can make common assumptions based on behavior, but just saying that everything is everything, no, rubbish, nonsense. So that begs the question then, what do people get wrong about the White Scars? People think that they're just barbarians. And you're like, oh no, but in the books they say that no, they're not actually, and so we know that, but yeah, in the books it goes to show that hey, they are a bit more culture than that, but people confuse that connection. A lot of people take that to mean, oh, they're not evil, they're not bad like the Mongols. But that's not what it means. It is explicitly stated that the White Scars and the culture that they have, the one that the Khan gave unto them, was indeed brutal and yes, sometimes very barbaric. But it was also very, very learned. White Scars are poets. It is mandatory that every White Scar knows how to read, play an instrument, and they practice the arts, i.e. the musical arts. I hate to break it to you, but pretty much every single White Scar is part theater kid. And you don't exactly expect a theater kid to kill somebody with a blunt object. That is unless you diss their favorite musical. We are harmless, until you provoke us. The culture of Chigoris heavily influenced the White Scars, but even more so before that when they were the Star Hunters, they also had a sort of similar cultural blend to them. And even then, they were scouts, but they weren't just scouts. Their whole ethos was about being free. Not having any rules, not having any boundaries, being able to do what you want, but also having simple moral guidelines. People often associate a potent desire for freedom with a distaste of rules. And while yes, they do dislike rules, that doesn't mean that they hate all rules. They themselves have some rules, they're not chaotic individuals. Yes, A White Scar wants to go at Mach 10 and travel to the edge of the galaxy, but he also doesn't mind sitting down and reading a book, or singing a song, or playing musical instruments. White Scars are not just these ruthless, ravaging barbarians. And again, it's even more than that. A lot of people think, oh no, they're good, but they're not just good barbarians, they are cultured. For lack of a better word. There's a rich history in Dragoris, with various different songs, tapestries, written arts as well, and the Khan himself, he wanted to keep alive that nomadic culture, but he also wanted to build upon it something that could last forever. And that's the long end of the short of it. The White Scars have two sides to them. Yes, they are very much the ruthless warlords from the steppes who will run you down, laughing while they do so, but at the same time, they are men who will sit in their halls and sing you the most beautiful ballad you could ever imagine, who will write and transcribe and make beautiful works of culture that promoted not only them, but the entire world of Dragoris in an immense light. Well, that begs the question though, why do people get that confused? Why is it so hard for them to understand that, hey, yes, we are kind of barbaric and savage, but we're also pretty disciplined and understanding. We can enjoy quiet moments. Moreover, we love culture, we love writing, we love singing, we love doing all these fine, delicate things that are so antithesis to our base nature. I mean, the reason is quite simple. People can't really seem to connect those two ideas together. You see, when people think of a roaming horse lord, they think of a Mongol nomad. They think about someone free from all the cares of the world, free from anything that we imagine from sedentary civilizations. When you think of sedentary civilizations, you think of safety, you think of security. With safety and security, it allows you to focus on the other aspects of life, the finer aspects as some would put them. Fine cooking, fine arts, culture, various sciences, etc. Now to us as humans, a Mongol horse lord, and to an extension a White Scar who is based off that, he is the antithesis to that in every aspect. He has no safety, he has to continuously roam and do things. His whole life is living on the horse, living in the saddle. And because of that, where is he going to find the time to sit down, to think, and have a moment of peace? It makes sense that the community would think about it, because a lot of 40k people do come from the upper middle class or the working class, people who have to work for what they have. Contrary to GW's prices, not every Warhammer 40k fan is bloody rich. But to them, if they want to focus on their hobbies, if they want to focus on their pastimes, they have to take time off work to do that. And they can only do that if they know that the time they're taking off work will not come back to bite them in the ass. And to us, well, the Mongols and the White Scars, their work is 24/7. If they don't work, well, they don't live, literally. But again, that's us thinking it from our perspective. And, to a lesser degree, from a Western perspective or a sedimentary perspective, I believe would be a better way to put it. The Mongols, even before they started becoming semi-sedentary, had a rich oral tradition. Various songs and stories would be told descended down the lines, great war sagas of ancient pasts. And the White Scars do that too. But what we don't understand is that the reason why the White Scars are nomads, why they love adventure, is because they love it. It's in their bones, in their soul. You see, a lot of us have duties to do, whether it be caring for a family, going to work, or whatever you may call it. And a lot of the times we do them because we have to. Now, we may love our family, we may love our job, but sometimes you get those days where you just got to do it, grin it, and bear it. White Scars, though, much like the Mongols, they don't consider that living. Now, don't get me wrong, the White Scars have duty to do, and they will always do their duty come rain or shine. Look at the Siege of Terra. They sold their lives dearly to do their duty. But to them, duty is a very select few things. It is oaths. It is making promises, pledges. It is family. To them, if they love something, they will find time to do it. With the White Scars, it's not a case of them having to struggle to find time or to be safety. It's not that they want to do something, but they don't have the time nor the means to do it. It's the case of, no, they don't want to do that right now. Mongol horse lords would often travel by day, do all this stuff, and then settle down at night around their camp, and they would sing stories. And I do mean sing stories. And they would spend most of the night relaxing and enjoying each other's company, because they wanted to. The White Scars want to go out and be free. They want to roam the stars and hunt the corners of the galaxy. They want to ride their jet bikes on the night's winds and feel the air upon their face. but they also want to sit in peace and serenity, to compose poetry and song, to learn about their heroes from ancients past. They want to sit and talk with their people. They want to roam the grasslands and the steppes. They want to gently enjoy mare's milk beautifully as it is sucked straight from the mother's teat. They want all of that, and they will do that when they have the chance. If they are ever called up to serve, they will serve immediately. The White Scars have never been a legion to follow norms, to follow polite social etiquettes. They do what they do, and they get it done. Because to a White Scar, life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is too short to waste on frivolous things. You do what you need to do, you have your duty, and you get that duty done. From then, how you live your life is up to you. If you are doing something and you don't like what you're doing, and it's not your duty, that's on you. The White Scars thrive on living life. I mentioned in my previous video, the Salamanders are the most human, but the White Scars are the Space Marines who enjoy living humanity's life more than anyone else. They're called the Laughing Killers for a reason. They laugh when they fight because they enjoy it. White Scars are a free soul. They want to live life, they want to enjoy it, and that includes doing whatever they want. It's not just running around across the stars. It is anything. I would not be surprised if you meet a White Scar and they would be like, you know what? I love doing administration. I love sitting and writing down and looking at records. And they're going to do it because it's what they want to do. Is it going to be common? Hell no, it's not. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. The one thing that Jagatai Khan wanted for his people was freedom. Freedom to do what though? Freedom to do whatever they wanted, so long as it was not evil. The Khan did not care what you did or how you did it, so long as it did not hurt you, nor the people around you, nor it did it harm anyone. He believed in vengeance, in justice, an eye for an eye, left for right. He was someone who valued the strength inherent to savagery. But moreover than that, he also valued the inherent desire that humans have to live their life. He would not look down at someone for wanting to do something which he himself did not find value in. And the White Scars inherited that. The White Scars have always been looked down by other legions. Perfect example is the Emperor's Children. When everyone thinks of artistic licenses, artistic marines, first two thoughts are usually the Blood Angels, the Emperor's Children, and then maybe you throw in the Ultramarines if you're a Roman guy. But the problem is though, Shagoris and its people and the White Scars have just as much as a rich culture and a rich fine arts tradition as the Emperor's Children. Problem is though, it doesn't fit in our narrow-minded box of like, hey, this is what fine arts is. And ultimately, that's what people get wrong about the White Scars. They think that they're just simple-minded, good-hearted himbos who do whatever the hell they want. They ride around on freedom bikes doing whatever. Oh, whatever, I'm going to go and do this and it's going to be great. Yeah, because I'm simple. But you're not giving them the credit that they deserve. They are men who understand that their lives as warriors can be snuffed out in an instant. A warrior's duty is to die. If a warrior lives today, that means he will die tomorrow. That is the mindset that they have. They do not take anything for granted. They do not expect to be here. They do not expect to be worshipped. They do not expect anything other than to live and breathe until tomorrow. Tomorrow they die. Tomorrow they go and meet the Khan and the Great Warhawk in the sky. That is what they are going to do tomorrow. So what do you do today? You live your life with full of passion, full of power. You do whatever you want. White Scars will never look down on anyone for doing anything unless it is something evil or chaotic. White Scars are some of the most humble Space Marines you'll ever meet. Unlike the Salamanders though, where it comes from a place of kindness and empathy, with the White Scars, it comes from a place of respect. A White Scar will respect a mortal man because they have a mortal life. They have the freedom of humanity, and that freedom is theirs to do whatever they want. And who are they to judge him? Perhaps it was a lesson that the Khan passed on to them, because he was judged by his peers. Perhaps it was a lesson that the Legion taught them, even from the days of the Star Hunters, when they were judged simply as a legion that would perish itself out. Perhaps maybe something happened in the Heresy, where people questioned their loyalty because they didn't jump to act. Regardless, the White Scars never ever question someone for what they want to do unless it is purely evil. They are humble in that regard. Much like the Primarch, Jagatai Khan, they don't care what you are doing. Again, not hurting you, not hurting anybody, great, I'm gonna go over here and do my own thing because I have my life to live. And my life to live is what I need to do. And at the end of the day, if I am sitting there staring up in the sky, soaking in a pool of my own blood, and I look back at my life and I am not happy, I have no one to blame but myself. Oh, you have something to do? That is your duty. That is the price of freedom. That is the price of being alive. That is the price of being human. You're going to complain that you can't just sit around and do nothing? No, you do your duty. You do not complain about your duty. But everything else, that's on you. And as a White Scar, they love to roam around on their magical bikes. They love feeling the wind in their air. They love hunting. They love fighting. They love everything. But they love life. They love feasting with their family. They love making poetry. They love singing songs. They love playing instruments. Hell, they love throat singing. They love their life. And that is ultimately what people get wrong about the White Scars. They're not doing this because they're simple-minded and they don't think of anything else. They have spent so much time thinking about this, thinking about the implications, thinking about what life means, and they have come to the realization that I'm eventually going to keel over and die. I need to enjoy my life. They are Space Marines who embrace fully what it is to be human. Unlike the salamanders, where they embrace what it means to be kin and the family aspect, they embrace the uncertainty and the freedom of humanity. The freedom to go and live your life, the unexpected nature. Whereas some people sit and they get anxiety about the future, the White Scars embrace it wholeheartedly. They have been blessed by the Great Warhawk and the God Emperor of mankind. They can do whatever they want between their duty. If they survive and if they live, it's up to them how they want to do it, and if they die, well, they die doing what they love, serving. To simply point at them and to say that they are too simple-minded, that they're just good-natured, and that's the reason why they do what they do, is an utter slap in the face to such a true and vaunted and rich legion. Most people think that the White Scars don't think, they just act. That is rubbish. The White Scars have thought about more than most other chapters ever will in their life. And they have come to the realization that this freedom is a gift, and they must use that gift wisely, because there are many who do not have this gift. That is why they have such a rampant, aggressive nature with the Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar are enslavers. They enslave humanity. To be enslaved is to be robbed of your freedom. And to a White Scar, the reason why human beings exist is to exercise their freedom. If you do not exercise your freedom as a human being, you have no point to live. All in all, I could go on and on waffling about the White Scars, but the main takeaway I want you to have from this video is this. The White Scars do not simply do things because they're simple-minded. They're not reckless. They do things because they understand. Something that a lot of people like you and I struggle is that we only have one life to live, and that we have been gifted freedom by the good Lord Almighty. What we do with that freedom is up to us. We have our duty. We have to work our jobs. We have to go to school. We have to do whatever the hell we have to do. But what do you do after that? That's on you. A lot of the times we tend to blame our job, or we blame parents, or we blame family, or we blame social lives for our own unhappiness, but that's a load of rubbish. At the end of the day, you decide what you have time for. I just haven't had time to make that hobby. You decided that you didn't have time. Why? Because you decided it was more important to do this. And some of y'all may have terrible work-life balances. You may have terrible family relations. You may have terrible this. Do what you can. I'm not saying flip over and change your life. I understand there's some things that you just gotta fucking grin it and bear it. Well, let me tell you what. The White Scars did that too. They grinned and bared the entire damn heresy. They grinned and bared people not even knowing their damn name as a Space Marine Legion. They grinned and bared people calling them barbarians, savages, uncultured. The Khan grinned and bared while everyone forgot him. Arguably one of the greatest duelists, one of the greatest Primarchs, one of the greatest leaders, and arguably the most humble Primarch you'll ever meet. People ignored him, but he grinned it and he bared it. Why? Because he knew that when it was over, when the remembrances were gone, he would have his moment to ride his white stallion in the grass seas, wind in his hair, blade in his hand, singing gloriously, laughing about the beautiful freedom which he enjoyed. To the Khan, that was enough. So the next time you think about the White Scars, ask yourself this. Am I truly using the freedom that I have? Or am I just making excuses for not being happy about my life? And if you look at it, and you notice that you have to make changes, make those changes. Because no coward can truly embrace freedom. It is only the brave who can venture forth into the world, and truly ride the great stallion that is freedom through the uncertain sea of life. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to do the liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that wonderful YouTube stuff. Comment down below, what do you guys think about the White Scars? Did you always know this about the White Scars, or were you surprised by how they value freedom? A massive thank you to watching, and a massive thank you to my members. Shout out to my Lieutenant tier members, Mr. Eddie V3 and Miss Majora of the Void. Shout out to my Sergeant tier members, Mr. Damick and Mr. Andy McGee. And shout out to my 2 private tier members, Mr. Thomas Moselons and Mr. Ivan_SVW. Thank you guys oh so much for this, it means the world to me. YouTube is unpredictable, so signing up for the memberships gives your boy an extra level of security and a lot of awesome benefits, like getting these videos a full day early and a bunch of other stuff. But you don't gotta do it, this will always be free, and you simply watching, liking, and commenting does more for me than you will ever know. And regardless, I will love you just the same. Mwah. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been General Bradley 101. You've been beautiful, awesome, and amazing people. Thank you guys also very much for watching, and I will catch y'all next time. Dismiss, Rangers. Now I'm just waiting for some history nerd to comment I got something wrong about the Mongol Empire.